You told yourself this would be the year for your manga. But here we are, months later, and you still haven't made any real progress. Don't let another year end with you saying,
maybe next year.
if you've been putting off making your manga, then this video is for you. One of our students, Jay, struggled to make manga by himself for 7 years. He tried self-learning, watching online tutorials, reading manga, and still no progress. Last year, he started working with us in our online one-shot manga drawing program. From drawing single illustrations, he was able to finish a complete storyboard for his one-shot manga in just 3 months. How? It wasn't skill or talent that was holding him back. It was his mindset and a lack of structure. In this video, we'll break down the 3 biggest blocks stopping aspiring mangakas like you from finally creating and finishing your own manga. If you're struggling to create your own manga and you want to finally learn the right skills to self-publish, join manga contests, and pitch to publishers with pro mangakas acting as your editors, then we invite you to book a free manga consultation call with us. The link is in the description. One of the biggest things holding you back is waiting. Waiting until you're good enough, until you have more time, until you've fixed all your plot holes. Let's be honest, one of the hardest things for any beginner mangaka to do is to actually start. We have this unrealistic expectation that our first manga has to be the one. The story that would get us noticed, published, it would launch our manga careers. And so, it has to be good. We put so much pressure on ourselves that we end up daydreaming, building power systems, practicing our art. Everything else except creating manga. Here's something you need to watch out for: productive procrastination. That's when you do things that feel helpful, like rewatching art tutorials or reworking your lore for the nth time. But really, you're avoiding the real work. You're not moving forward. You're just going in circles. So don't hide behind these safe tasks. Give yourself a deadline to plan your story, build your characters, and just start making your manga. Look at this page. What do you think? Rough? Amateurish? This was made by our student Amser. It was one of his first manga attempts in November 2024. Here's one of his manga pages just 5 months later. So far, he's finished a 17-page one-shot for the silent manga edition, a few yonkoma, and 2-page manga. And now, he's already working on his 30-page one-shot manga. While we've all been so self-conscious on creating something perfect, Amser focused on finishing actual projects. Manga that had a beginning, middle, and end. It sounds so simple, but so many beginners can't even manage that. While we're stuck in our heads, Amser has managed to explore different panel layouts, create different character designs, experiment with inking and toning techniques. He's built real experience. Waiting around will only delay your progress. You gotta start making manga, even if you're scared, even if you think you're not ready. Think of it this way: you don't wait until you're good at swimming before jumping in the pool. You jump in, splash around, and then you learn. Now that you finally decided to start, here's the next thing that's gonna hold you back. No proper plan. One day, you're practicing drawing heads. The next day, you're drawing hands, then full poses. Then, you're redoing character designs again. You feel like you're doing something, but deep down, you're not sure if you're actually getting any better, or even heading the right direction. Then someone asks,
So, how's your manga coming along?
and you simply say,
Yeah, I'm working on it. Just fixing my characters, rewriting the story.
but let's be real. You've been working on it for months, maybe even years, and it's still not done. That's the hard truth. You started with that leap of faith. You got started on your manga. That's amazing. But if you just keep throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks, you're not heading towards success. You're heading towards burnout. What you need isn't more random sketches. What you need is a roadmap. A roadmap that doesn't just push you forward, but tells you exactly where to go. Because finishing your manga isn't just about how many hours you draw. It's about whether those hours are building something real. Here's the manga creation journey broken down. Step 1 is planning and ideation. Step 2 is writing. Step 3 is visual design. Next is storyboarding. And the final step is production, where you work on your sketches, inking, and shading. Let's break down step 1, planning and ideation. First, you gotta set the right goal. Ask yourself, why are you making this manga? Is it to join a manga contest? To test a concept for self-publishing? To simply practice your skills? You have to create with intention. Simply creating a random manga and praying that a publisher picks it up afterwards is like joining a random basketball game for the first time and hoping that someone scouts you for the NBA. Spoiler alert, that's not how it works. After you've set your goal, it's time to brainstorm. Our pro mangaka mentor, Rena Saya, shared that the hardest part of being a mangaka is thinking of a good idea. And here's the trap. So many beginners fall in love with their first idea without even considering other possibilities. Here's an ideation tool to get your creative juices running. What if someone does something? For example, what if a short boy with no experience decides to become a top volleyball player? Do you know which story this is? Haikyuu. Or what if a powerless boy dreams of becoming the world's greatest hero? You have My Hero Academia. Here's a challenge. Come up with at least 20 different manga ideas. Then, come back to it after a day. Give yourself time to step back and refresh. Look at your list and cut it down to your top 10, then top 5, and then your top 3, until you're staring at your number 1 winning idea. Here's a pro tip. We've seen beginner mangakas make this mistake over and over again. They ask their friends and family for feedback on their ideas. Here's the thing though, are they really your target audience? If you're creating a seinen manga, then you should be talking to men that are 18 and up, not your mom or 15-year-old brother. The right feedback from the right people can be the difference between a manga that gets ignored and one people remember. If you're wondering what to do next with your top idea, then make sure to stick around. At the end of this video, you'll get access to free training that breaks down the next steps. Before we get into that, we have to bust one last myth. And it's a big one, because we see this in our comments quite a bit.
Do I need to be in Japan to make manga? I'm not Japanese. Can I even call it manga? Do I have to live in Japan and learn Japanese first?
Short answer, no. Manga isn't about where you're from. It's about the story, emotion, heart. We get it. A lot of foreigners feel like outsiders. But here's the truth. Times are changing, and more opportunities for non-Japanese mangakas are opening up. In the last few years, we've seen more and more international manga competitions. The Silent Manga Edition, Kadokawa's Wordless World Manga Contest. Both were created to scout for international talent. Even one of our mentors, Art Crumbs, is an American mangaka based in the US. Their one-shot manga, Onami, was published in Viz Media. Then there's Madeline Rosca from Australia. She wrote and illustrated Hollow Fields, an original English manga. It won an award from Japan's Foreign Ministry for Best International Manga. Even Japanese editors are now embracing the shift. Editor Chiba Ayane recently said,
It's very new and exciting to create manga from a non-Japanese perspective. I believe this is very meaningful. I think there's real potential for completely new kinds of works.
That's your proof. Manga isn't about where you're from. It's about what you create. Manga needs new voices, new stories, new creators like you. If you're ready to finally take that first step and create your first one-shot manga with pro mangakas as your editors, then we invite you to apply to our online one-shot manga drawing program. We've helped beginners with zero manga experience create their first one-shot and even join their very first manga contest in a matter of weeks. Want to learn more? Go to learntodrawmanga.com. We've put the link in the description. In the meantime, if you want to learn what to do with your top manga idea, check out this free training on the complete steps to create your first manga.